Okay. So I guess my screen is visible to everyone. Today we'll be starting with the new features that were introduced in S4 HANA. What is the key difference between S4 HANA and ECC? I'll be starting with the basics. Then I'll try to level it up with the changes that we have in our material master also. There are different separate tiles, and what is the functionality and how SAP tries to ease it for us. And there is one other SAP uh, community that is called SAP Innovate. So whatever changes we are going to see, just remember that there was some consultant who thought to ease the client's requirement by voting some certain solutions for some complex problem that a lot of consultants and end user faced. So there's a community of SAP Innovate. You can Google it up and it will pop up. Okay, so I'll show you that. Just remind me once after the session. It's something that about SAP. Not everyone knows. Okay, so SAP does a lot of activities as a part of community building. Okay, so just remember everything that we learn doesn't mean that it has to stay within our brains. It should appear in our reflections and it should appear in our teamwork. Okay, so let's start with the today's agenda. So I'll introduce you with the changes, the features, the need for this new features. I'll guide you with that. So I've not prepared a slide for this. Okay, the benefits, the analytical applications, and then we'll conclude what we learned. Okay, so today's introduction is SAP is a new generation ERP software that has AI, ML, and has high business efficiency and speed. So we need to analyze a large amount of data for which we have some enjoy features. Enjoy features like SAP standard features that were given by SAP only. So this is personal insights. So personal insights are like you have recent activities, you have some authorization issues, then you can go to SC53. You can do some basic things by yourself. You can put workflows to substitutes. So let's say when you're absent, you can ask somebody else to put your workflow to other concerned person, and that is in charge in your place. Then we have integrated processes like one one new process was introduced with the MM and PP and this APO. So APO is advanced planning order, MM, PP, APO integration, new feature. Okay, so this is one feature that was introduced. I've not mentioned it anywhere, but this is a PP and APU integration, advanced uh, production order. So in this, there are certain fields that are not relevant to us, but since PP utilizes the material master that is present in the materials management module of S4 HANA, so S4 HANA gave this feature for advanced production orders. So in, let's say, how much forecasting is there, right, of this material, or how much your demand will be, how much you need to consume. All these are there's a specific in the MM01 or MM03. You can check it, right. In that there is a specific APO tile for this PP and APO integration. This is the latest feature that was introduced in S4 HANA. Then we have enabled cyber security. We can use separate networks like MPLS network. So this means we will be on a different network, and then you have to use VPNs like this. So I have this VPN 40 client. So this is some VPN for my company because I needed to show some Fury tiles that wasn't loading in the server that was provided for training. So I'm using some quality server with some test data that I created long back. So we have enabled security. We can use separate networks for this. Okay, so this is why S4HANA is better. And S4HANA streamlines the processes and reduces the ECC costs. So how it reduces? So recently recently I gave 4 5 interviews, and three of them asked how SAP is different from SAP ECC. SAP S4 HANA is different from ECC. So first thing you all know is four-layer architecture, four-level architecture. Okay, and secondly, in S4 HANA, the database is on the SAP server only, so you don't need to go anywhere. In ECC, it was like you were using Oracle database or Azure database of Microsoft. So it had a it had a bigger footprint. It was costlier, and currently in S4 HANA you have Fiori applications. The sessions, the previous sessions you can refer to, we had Fiori applications, then role based. So everything is streamlined, everything is efficient in S4 HANA. That is why every project is needed to have this S4 HANA only. And since you are all SAP learners, new learners who have chosen SAP S4 HANA, the the support for SAP ECC will end in 2027. Okay, so we have 3 years down the line, and after 3 years, SAP will stop all the S4 HANA, sorry, SAP ECC uh, licenses for all users. Then they will have to mandatorily migrate to either cloud or S4 cloud or S4 HANA on premise. Okay, so it's better to have the latest technology at your hands. Okay, so now we have how it is different from how SAP S4 HANA is different from SAP ECC. So we have a reduced cost, business efficiency that we have done. Then there are some key features that was introduced. Okay, so in first, it was so in on the first point we have FICO. Okay, let me write one more point. PP. Okay, MM, APO, APO. Introduction. This I have explained already. I'll share the PPT or the PDF with you. Then I'll put down the details for it. Okay. So okay. So in on the first point, the changes that were in that have been placed in SAP S4 HANA is FICO merger. Okay. So FICO means FICO. So CO means cost accounting, cost objects. Okay. So when you do cost accounting means there is a good integration between MM and CO, that is called a product cost collector. Okay. So earlier what they used to do in SAP ECC, there you might have heard, if you are aware about SAP modules in ECC, then there was a term for finance that was called central finance or CFIN or CFIN consultants. So the demand of CFIN in 2020, I think 2013 or 2014 was very high. Okay, so because the work was very high. Okay, so what I mean by work is the central finance has to work with the cost accountant or the cost operator. What happens in controlling is you put control on all the cost related things that happen in MM, that happen in PP, and on the part of PM you make plant maintenance orders for refurbishment or other services for the repairment of transformers or the heavy machinery that are used in the construction industry. So in that you use CO objects like WBS. Okay, the cost is transferred on WBS. You have GLs, you have this cost centers. Likewise, all this comes under the part of CO. Okay, so CO was a separate module in SAP ECC, and there was CFIN, Central Finance in ECC. Now in S4 HANA, you have only seen the consultants, like, or the, if you're active on LinkedIn, so you might have seen trainers or these consultants who write a CFIN certified or FICO certified. Now it is upgraded as FICO. So there's a single module of FICO. Finance and controlling is FICO. Okay. So now in S4 HANA, they have made one table as AC DOCA. AC DOCA means Universal General, or it is also known as the single source of truth. Whatever we did on in OBYC, So you guys remember the automatic account determination? We took 2 sessions for it. So whatever GLs we did mapped, okay. So in P2P cycle, let's say you are placing a PO, then you do a GR. All these processes, that GR, the Miro, the credit note, debit note, subsequent credit, everything is flowing from MM to FI. And with FI, there is also a controlling document generated. Okay. So when this controlling document is generated, earlier what happened was the FI guy was used to sit with the controlling guy. They used to reconcile. Reconcile means they used to match that there was no proper data flow of finance and controlling. So now in SAP S4HANA, they have merged and made one table that is called AC DOCA. It is called the universal general or the single source of truth. Okay, so it is always true. Okay, always true means it has 100% uh, rates of yes. So you have a question and the answer can be yes or no. So the universal general means everything you every transaction or every uh, question you put in this table, the answer will be always true. So it is also known as the single source of truth. Just remember that in interview questions they'll ask what is universal general. Do you know? Then you can say yes. It's AC DOCA. Okay. Just remember that AC DOCA is not always correct. I said it's correct. It's true. But I've worked with AC DOCA. So the movement type 311 has no accounting document. So whenever you have no accounting document, it will not come to AC DOCA. AC DOCA is only for accounting documents. Okay. So it's accounting, FI and CO merger. It flows with MM, but you have to have the accounting document in FI. Then only it will flow through AC DOCA. If it flows through AC DOCA, it will always be true. If it doesn't flow through AC DOCA, it will not be true. Okay. Just remember that it's a prerequisite. They'll ask you. If you get an interviewer like me, I'll definitely ask you these questions. Okay. Then comes the material number extension. We'll go a little deep in material number extension and how it is done. So you'll need a technical also. Okay. So what is number range extension? Let's say I'm working in a construction industry and you have seen all these big pipes. So what happens with pipes? They have certain dimensions. Let's say I am working with a pipe that has 2 meters of sorry 2 centimeters of radius or 5 meters of radius, whatever, anything. Okay, then what happens with that is the material will be there. It might be of plastic, it might be of PVC, and then they have grades. So the grade might be there's one grade VBB or APF or sorry, AFP, something something like these grades are there. Then they have classes. So the classes are like within the grade, the metal might be of superior quality. Let's say you have the PVC pipes, right? And then you have the steel pipes. So within the steel pipes, you will have a better quality steel. There is like in iron, I know that there is cast iron, pig iron, and I think a few more iron. Okay, so there are total 3 types of irons. Okay, likewise, you have steel. There is one stainless steel, and then there is some hard steel, and one other steel. I forgot the name. So you have different classes, different bifurcations, then different characteristics of the material. Based on that, you code a number. So the number range can exceed 18 digits of number. So I've seen number ranges that have been up to 22, 24 material number. Uh, so the client might want that we want 22 digits of number in our number range. So how will we do that? Okay, so in SAP, there's a functionality that was added in 1505. So 1505 was the first version of SAP S4HANA that was launched by SAP in 2015. So SAP S4HANA was launched in 2015 for the first time. Then other modules followed. Okay, so in 1505 they had introduced the number range of and it was increased from 18 characters to 40 characters. But just keep this in mind that you will need a custom code. Custom code means ABAP development. ABAP is a technical module which customize all the datas that you are using. So you will need a custom code. Custom code means ABAP programming. So the material length will increase to character 40. Okay, 40 char. Char means character. Then comes integration with business partners. This we have done in the previous sessions. BP part 1, part 2 recordings are there. So business partner is nothing but your customer and vendor integration. That is what I've written, CVI, customer vendor integration. So what happens in CVIs is your vendor and your customer and all the finance related roles will have single number range. So single number range means you used to define vendor account groups, then you used to define the customer account groups. Then we had the BP number ranges. Then we used to set role wise restrictions of the screen layouts or the mandatory fields, that input taxes, everything we can do in the business partners. Then we have the real time MRP. So if anyone has done ECC, they might know. In ECC, what was the functionality of MRP? We used to have the T codes MD01, MD02, MD03, MD04. 04 was for the MRP live, and they used to make a PR. And then MD60 for multiple PRs. But the problem was with ECC was in when you have MRP controller in PP and the MRP live was run, there was supposed to be no transactions in the system. Like MRP is always run after the transaction is over for the day. So a person used to create a batch job. Let's say I'm a consultant of PP. I have created a batch job for my client. Now they have done MD04. Let's say they have created the MRP. Okay, so I know that you guys not know MRP by now. We have not gone through MRP. It's a PP part. So just say MRP is like we want some materials and we are creating some uh, planning. So we are creating some requirement planning that we want certain material after certain period of days when the stock hits the safety stock. Safety stock is like the buffer stock that we have. Uh, so the work or the production activities of the plant doesn't go low. Okay, so let's say you have coal stock in a power plant. You have coal stock, so you cannot empty all the coal, otherwise the boilers will be shut down. And to open a boiler, it will use the diesel LDOs, LDO and petrol. So for 1 month you have to fire the boiler with petrol, then you put LDO, then you have to put coal. So it will cost a lot of crores just to fire up the boiler if it gets shut down. So you have to always have the stock, and the boilers cannot be shut down. Okay, so the production can never stop. If it stops, it is very typical to start it. It is only stopped when the cleaning and the maintenance services are needed to be done for the boiler, like the sludge removal. You might have studied. Whoever has done the BTech or engineering from India, we have a one subject called chemical engineering in the first year, and it's mandatory. So we study that there is some sludge that appears on the boundaries of this boilers. Okay, so it depreciates the productivity and other things are there. So only in those cases when a human is involved with the cleaning services and other things, overhauling is also known as overhauling. We stop all the production activity and restart. Then it is needed. Okay. So okay, coming back to the MRP. So real time MRP means you can you can do MRP live. There's a new transaction called MRP live. Okay, so you need to put just MRP live, and you can do it in any day. Okay, okay, 1 second. Somebody wants to join. Uh, okay, so MRP live, yeah. So earlier, what used to happen in MRP live was in MRP, the users had to make some the user had to make some bad jobs. So bad jobs were like background jobs that execute based on the data you have input. And it used to execute after 8 p.m., 10 p.m., whenever there is no production activity going on. So uh, there was supposed to be no transaction, then only you can run. Otherwise, you will get errors like vendor is not there, or material is not there, or some errors were related to info records also. So I've not executed any PP MRP related data because there is no PP integration with MM in my company, or in my current client. But whenever you go to US projects, I know one company, the SAIL, there is a company called SAIL, Steel Authority of India Limited. So they have steel manufacturing plant, and the team of PP is like 14, I think 12 or 14 people are there. So in different projects, it is dependent on which project you are. So in steel companies or in the production companies, you will have a lot of PP integration with MM. Okay, so you will need that. So if it's in ECC, it will be very hectic for you guys. What you can do is in MRP Live in S4 HANA, you can run MRP Live. It's a simple 7 or 8 steps transaction, and you'll get your material in whatever time you have specified. Okay, next point. Then we have mandatory. We have mandatory material ledger. So what is a material ledger? Can anyone tell me what is a material ledger or ML? You might have seen this ML, material ledger, in the material master sessions we took. Anyone? Okay, I'll explain it.
Material, Aman, I would like to add.
Yeah, yeah, please.
Yeah, it's a tool that will collect all the transactional data of the material.
No. Ledger is. Can you explain what is a ledger?
You're asking about material ledger, right?
Yes, material ledger.
Yeah, so it's a tool, right, where all the material data, transactional data is stored.
No. Okay,
No?
so a
Okay.
ledger. Let's say what is a ledger. Okay, let's first go to the ledger thing.
It's a collection of financial accounts.
Yes, correct. Okay, and add material to it. Collection of
Okay.
material related financial details is a
Financial.
material. Yeah, it's a
Okay,
material
yeah.
ledger. Okay, so what is a material ledger? A material ledger is it was used in ECC first. First thing, was used in ECC, and it has separate accounting. Let's say, as I mentioned in AC Doka. Okay, so I said one thing, that AC Doka is the universal. It's a universal journal, and it's a single source of truth. But it doesn't work for the transactions that doesn't have the accounting document, like 311 or 312. Okay, so earlier what you was used to happen in MM. So and SD and PP, all these were not connected. They were only connected to material ledger. Then the finance or the central finance guy, FI guy, used to sit and compare the same, reconcile the same. Okay, so reconcile means they were used to tally the balances with MM, SD, PP. Then they used to tally the balances with CO person. So the first point was AC Doka. Okay. The second point is also related. The fifth point is also related to that. In AC Doka, ML got the part of it. Okay. So AC Doka was introduced to S4 HANA, and it solved the accounting for the reconciliation purposes for the finance and CO module. Okay. So what is happening in S4 HANA? Material ledger has become a part. So it already has an activate tick. It comes pre-activated in S4 HANA. Okay, you can also deactivate it, but it is only done in the projects that are related to Indian Army or your US Army. So I've never seen any country that has deactivated any projects in any countries that has deactivated metal ledger, except the armies, because the armies are having the high security, and due to those reasons only, they'll deactivate the metal ledger. They'll not collect the cost. Okay, so the cost is like they'll put if they have metal ledger active in S4 HANA, they'll put cost like 1 rupees or 2 rupees, like that. Okay, so they'll not disclose the cost because that will be like the whatever other agency are trying to spy on them. They might get some hands on, or they might enter into a system by some malware. Whatever they will do, it's their call. Okay, so basically you will not have metal ledger, or it will be deactivated if it's a high security project. Okay, so where cost is not to be revealed, so you'll not worry about the value, you'll just worry about the transactions only. Okay, so in S4 HANA, material ledger is activated, which was a frustration and is now a past thing. Okay, why it was frustration? Because transactions were accounted separately, because there was no linkage between and FI. Every cost of every transaction was accounted in only. Like the 311 movement has no accounting, but the material got transferred. Where will you map it? That was an issue, right? The material is moving from store location to store location. Now the accountant is worried that we don't have the value, but it is showing in somebody else's stock. So that was an issue in AC Doka. Okay, that is an issue in AC Doka because the cost is not getting generated. Okay, so APO, I said APO explained already. I'll explain it because Sheena joined late. APO means advanced production orders. After MRP, there is one additional tab that is added to MM01, that is APO, advanced planning orders, or the production orders. Okay, so you'll plan in advance how much production is needed to be done. Then uh, and it is a part of PP and APO. It is so it is linked to because in PP you need a metal master for everything. That is why it is in S4HANA. Okay, now the new features I've written in a brief. So I've explained already AC Doka, Universal General. Okay, then the several modules are hitting their entries in the AC Doka Universal General, like the asset accounting, the GLs that we use, the material ledger, management accounting, finance, COPA. COPA means cost accounting, and PA. I'm not aware of the full form. I need to check once. Okay, so AC Doka removes the aggregated or index tables, and it greatly reduces the data footprint. Data footprint means whatever transactions are already going on materials management module, or the SD module, or the PP module, they are now accounted in AC Doka table only. So they have reduced all the tables. Index tables means all the tables that were used uh, previously. Now they are converted into one table, that is AC Doka. So you have centralized the data with one table. Okay, then MatDoc inventory management. So MatDoc means it's a table, right? Everyone knows what is a MatDoc. So MatDoc means material document. So in MatDoc, what happens is, uh, earlier you used to use you you had a lot of tables like MSEC, BSEC. MSEC means when you do a MIGO or MB1C. Let's say you are using MB1C, you're in ECC. Then you had other T codes. MB stars are, let's say MB stars are, star means 1C, 1B, whatever you were using. Okay, so all these transactions, all these T codes were there, and it had separate table like MSEC, BSEC, MKPF. So so MSEC and BSEC got combined. MKPF also got combined in MatDoc. So BSEC is the table that has the accounting document for the material document. So MSEC has the material document. Material document means, let's say you're doing a MIGO 101. In MIGO 101 movement GR, what happens is you put all the entries. Everything is stored in a MSEC table. And what happens to the accounting? There will be 101 accounting, right? BSX and your WRX will hit. Those transaction event keys and the material details and the relevant amount will go into the BSEC table. So all these, and there's MKPF. MKPF is for your consumption when you do a consumption table. All these tables, tables are converted into one single table, that is MatDoc. So you have enumerated over 26 tables to make one single table, that is called MatDoc. So it has reduced the redundancy. It has reduced the need to go to different tables, and the other tables are appearing still. They are still there in the SAP S4 HANA, but it is in the maintenance view. The maintenance view is like you can only see it. It's not mandatory to go there. One second. Why? Where did it went? Okay, leave it. Uh, okay, so SAP S4 HANA database. So what HANA database is done is it is more efficient. Why it is more efficient? Because it is on the same server. Same server. By same server I mean that in SAP S4 HANA, the database earlier used to use Oracle database or Azure database, Microsoft Azure. Now it is moved to SAP server only. So we can read the data from the main memory instead of the hard disk. So hard disk means other, if the other databases or if the other servers were used, we used to use the hard disk, or the hard disk means the separate, it was kept from other location, and the database used to call the GPUs or the CPUs aligned for it. Now it is in the same server, so we don't need to use the hard disk. So there are fewer data movements because it is on the same server. The tables in S4 HANA are column based instead of row based. Okay, so it will put a column relevant query only, and we have different columns in parallel. Okay, so this means that whenever you put a query in S4 HANA database, it is based on columns. Okay, I'm not sure how many of you know SQL, because I've read SQL in my bachelor's degree. So in SQL, when you put a query, you will have keys: foreign key, primary key, and candidate key. And even there's a fourth key called super key. Okay, so coming back to this basics, you have columns. So when you put a query, it is much easier when you use a foreign key, and there will separate parallel columns with which you can pull queries. Okay, so whatever I explained, it is in this SAP Press. So this is one SAP Press. I couldn't paste it uh, horizontally, because otherwise it would be difficult for us to read. I'll zoom in. Okay, so this is the basic difference between S4 HANA functionality and S4 HANA innovation and ECC functionality. So we had GPUs, we have Furies now. They used to run on different database options. Now we have HANA database. Maintenance is promised till 2040, but this will go outdated after 2027. So in 3 years, you have approximately 3 years for SAP ECC. So it will not be the value for money, that the amount of efforts we are putting in ECC. So it's much better for HANA. We should continue HANA till 2040. So we have at least 26 years to go, right? Sorry, 16 years to go. Okay, so this technology will not go uh, till 2040. Okay, we don't know if it will still be there, but yeah. Okay, then we have financial supply chain management, FSCM module, that was here, that came into SAP S4HANA instead of ECC. So ECC had FIARC or something, credit management. Okay, and now we have different finance things. Let's not go to finance. We are of logistics only. Okay, so we have unlimited the multiple tables and inventory management by MadDoc. The APU means advanced production orders. So it has been replaced by SAP IBP. Okay, so as for HANA IBP, it's a digital core, and so it is being handled with S4 HANA. Okay, so then MRP processing. Other earlier used to have okay, so I was talking about this. Okay, so earlier in MRP processing, when you used to do MD60 or MD04, it was supposed to be done when there were no peak hours, there were no client activities, like any transactions would cause disruptions in the MRP process. Okay, Now you can do it in real time. Real time means you have to do the transaction now, it will reflect in the system. Then customer and supplier were vendors were separate. It is now managed with the business partners. Then we have foreign trade SD, something SD, it is related to SD. Now we have SAP Global Trade Services in S4 HANA version. Then in warehouse management, we have EWM that is handled. So WM got obsolete. Okay. I don't know how many of you know, but WM model got obsolete and only lean WM is currently working, and it is replaced by EWM, extended warehouse management. So whenever you become very skillful, let's say in next 1 year or next half year or next 2 quarters, you become skillful in S4 HANA, then the next step is for you guys to do EWM and TM. So this will make you supply chain consultant. Supply chain means you will use end to end. End to end means the procurement to pay cycle and the handling also. So you'll be involved in handling the shipping, the transports. You will know everything about the supply chain. So supply chain starts from uh, the purchase requisitions. Then you put RFQs, you make quotations, right? Then you compare them. Then you put L1 vendor. You will award the contract. Then comes the payment part. You do the Miro. Then what happens in the background? You get the supply from the vendor. It comes in the TM. Then you have handling units, packing units, packing units. If you get a semi-finished product, you make it finished product. Then you send. How will you send? You will have some uh, 3PL, 4PL, 5PL, all these transport in. You'll learn all these things in MBA. I've not done MBA, but I've done some logistic related. I've read some logistic related documents, so it's there. Okay, so everything is on internet. You just need to know where to look. Okay, next slide. We'll go to next slide. So, one second. Okay, do we have any doubts on the sixth slide? I'll try to sum this seventh and ninth slide in the next 15 minutes. It's getting late, actually. Do we have any doubts? Can I get doubts, please? Rajkumar, Guru Raj, Shrina, Subramanyam, Anuradha. Any doubts, please? Uh, Krutika. Guys, let me know if you have any doubts. I'll not move ahead. Otherwise, it will be difficult for you guys to catch on. If there are no doubts, I will move ahead. Okay. You guys can see the recording. It's already been recorded. The call is recorded. So we'll put this recording also there in the drive. Okay. So okay. So in this, I mentioned that in the metal number range extension is there. Okay. So we'll see how the metal number range can be extended. I'll show you the path, the configuration. I will go to the system also. Okay. So in S4 HANA on-premise edition, or you can also go to the cloud edition also. So I work on on-premise. That is why I've written this. Okay. So with S4 HANA, you can extend the material number field from 18 to 40 characters and not beyond 40. Okay. So it is written from 18 to 40 because till now we have given SAP has given till 40 characters only. You cannot extend the length more than that. Earlier it was 18 only, which was very low because in construction companies or FMCG there are some numbers very that are like 19 or 22 digits numbers. Okay, so you need to customize it, but for that you'll need the help of a ABAP team or the technical team. Okay, so it started with on-premise version 15.11 and cloud edition 15.11 and above. Okay, so whatever version you might be working on S4 HANA, in your future projects, you will have this functionality. So we, by this extended, means that we need to extend the matter. Matter means material number. We'll extend the material number field in the database, and this will be extended up to 40 characters. Okay, so we have, this has to be done for all the tables. Okay, so all field within the table will have some matter. Let's say you are making it making it changes in the Mara table. So Mara is a general data table. But what about MARD? What about the plant table, right? What about MARC? MARC is your table for the store location. What about MVW, metal valuation table? All these tables are some standard tables that are there. And this number range should always be same in all tables. Okay, so you need to look after that. So be cautious when you do this, because if you don't do it correctly, it will cause the data inconsistency issues later on in the project, and you guys will definitely uh, will definitely fall into some problems with the client, because it's our as functions, it's our concern to make sure there are no inconsistencies caused in the system. Okay, so let's go back. Although the maximum length of the database in number 14, the way how it is contained. Okay, okay. So when you get the database, okay, so in default, it will not be 40, it will be 18 only. You need to change it into 40 characters. Okay, the default setting, the default settings have been moved after the new installations. To extend the number range functionality, it will not be extended already. You need to activate it if the customer needs to activate this functionality. Okay, so the path is, I've given the path: cross application components, general functions, field length, and FLETS is the field name. Okay, so we'll go to this. One second, let me log in. Let me know if I'm going too fast, please, because I need to complete within the time range. And sometimes, you know that if you guys will join late, the session will start late. Okay, I cannot start without people. I need you guys, your support, and with that only I can work. Okay, so in SPRO we'll go to SPRO, then we will go to SAP IMG references, and we have cross application components. Okay, we cross application components, general application function, field length extension, general applications, general application function, field length extension. Where is that field length extension? Okay, activate extended fields. Okay, when we activate this, so if we activate this, this is already activated. Okay, so this is our server, this is our practice server. So when we activate this, if let's say if I activate this, what happens? SAP is saying that you need to read this note. What is a SAP note? Can anyone tell me what is a SAP note? Shrina, Krutika, Subramanyam, Anuradha, Rajkumar, Gururaj. Anyone? Does anyone know what is a SAP note?
No, Aman, I don't know.
Okay, okay. So
Aman,
I'll.
SAP Note is where SAP shares all of their issues, whatever is there, or knowledge specific issue that we face, we can find it from the SAP Notes.
Correct. That is correct. 100%. Okay. Thank you, Shina, for the inputs. Okay. So this is a SAP note. So there is a site called me.sap.com. Earlier it was SAP Launchpad. Now they have changed the website's uh, name to me.sap.com, or SAP for me. So this is a knowledge-based article. You need to search it here. So I logged in with my ID. So it is saying that when you go to this transition, okay, so it is saying that if I click on extend material master, I need to read this note. So this is 2232396. Let's say what I have opened. Okay, there is some other note. Let's go back. Okay, so if I click on display note, it is taking me to launchpad.support.com. Then if I click on allow, it is taking me to accounts.sap.com. Then you need to log in with your S user ID. So I have my own S user ID. That is why I'm not logging in. Otherwise, if you have S user ID, you can log in there. Okay, so let's copy this note and we'll see what's behind this. It's not getting copied. 22323. Okay, second. Three two three. Then it was okay. 223 2396. 32396. So this is our SAP note. So it will mention some number range related note. It will mention what component is it, and it will show the release date. Okay, so it will show restriction note. Okay, it will show some descriptions. Okay, this is the symptoms that it is on premise or 1511 or higher. Then the prerequisites. Okay, so it show you the reason, and it will show what information it is related about. It will show the integration of SAP Business Suite products with the extended material number range. Then there will be the reasons. So you need to extend it to 40 characters, and you'll find the path under the SPRO that I showed. So you can do it for all these modules. Okay, it will explicitly include all these modules: TM, BW, MDG, Ariba, CRM, ERP, SRM. Okay, then the solution is that in the they are using the extended material number range, and for all this, so you can check other notes that are in this reference. Okay, so if you go click here, it will open the new note, whichever it is given for module. Okay, so this is SAP for me, which is very helpful. It is very helpful, and you can also log in and check. Okay, so we have done this material number range. Okay, let's go back to our PPT. Okay, so the T code is FLETS. I also mentioned the T code. You need to maintain the FLE authorization group. Now in OMSL, you can change the material number range. So we can go to OMSL transaction. We can change the number ranges. Otherwise, you'll get some error if you don't do it properly. Okay, so in this transaction, what you can do is you can put the material length as, let's say, if I want to put 40, I'll put 40. Okay, currently it's 18. In default, it's 18. If I put 40, that will be fine. Then we have this leading zeros. So leading zeros means what will be the number, right? So if I want to put the middle length as 40, I'll have some zeros. Let's say if I have 9999 something as 10-digit code, now the system will show 40 only, but all the numbers that doesn't have any any number beyond 10 or beyond 15 or beyond 18, it will show zeros for it. So it will have a lot of zeros, then it will have the last 10 digits. So this is the number range basic concept. Okay, so you need to do this, otherwise it will not work, and you'll need the technical help from a BAP team. Okay, so this is something that is needed to be done very cautiously. So please keep that in mind. Okay, now this is the change that you already know. In S4 HANA, we have the functionality of material master views that is same. Only the APO got added. We have material ledger activated, ML. ML is material ledger that is pre-activated, that I already explained. Then a new metal type called SERV. Okay, so SERVs are product type 2. So the product type has two categories, 1 and 2. So when we are creating the Yes, somebody raised their hand. Please ask. Okay, I think she will left. Like that. Okay. So in the material type 2, we have in the material type 1, as we have these materials that are like ROH, your spares, your consumables. We have all these materials. Then in material type 2, what comes is services. So we'll use this with lean service procurement or SES. It is also known as SES. Okay, so we have a separate application called managed service entry sheet. So all these managed, wherever the manage comes, it is a new application. So uh, okay, 1 second. There's one more point that I needed to add, or maybe not in this. Okay. Then we have a purchasing view. In this, the quota arrangement. Okay. In the purchasing view, I'll show you one material for better understanding. Slash NMM02. So earlier we used to have materials. Then in this, there was purchasing view. So in purchasing view, we used to have a field here. I think on the first field it was there, quota arrangement. So whenever you look at the configurations of quota arrangement, it was there. The manufacturing under the other and manufacturing data, you used to have a quota arrangement usage. Okay, yes, on the second there's quota arrangement usage. So when you look at this, you will not find it before post to inspection stop and below this GR processing time. It is gone. In S4 HANA, it is not there. It was there in ECC. So in whichever project that I worked on two projects, and I've held in one project. So in both of them, I've not seen this because everything was on S4 HANA. Okay. So nobody asks about the quota arrangement. I've given interviews. Nobody will ask you about this. And there is one thing that is there in MRP2, backflashing. So in MRP2, let's go to MRP2. In MRP2, backflashing got added. So what is backflashing? Uh, okay, backflash. So let's go to function. Let's go to sorry, F1. So when you go to F1, backflashing is an indicator in the production order. So it has backflashing assignment, and in production order or the production planning, this material is backflashed, means upon upon confirmation it is consumed, it is done goods issue. So this is called backflashing. So it the PP module has some PP related orders. When you put backflashing, it will automatically with MFBF, there is a transition called MFBF. With that, it consumes, it does 261 against the production order, and it will put up black flushing against the work center. Okay, so this is PP rated. It is not your part. Even I should not know this, but my PP consultant had one issue, so we looked at this uh, once. Okay, so now you know that your quota arrangement is gone and back flushing is activated. Okay, quota arrangement is gone.
Can you please explain the black question again once?
Can you please repeat, Subramaniam? Was it? Yes.
Yeah, that back question, can you please one more time repeat that?
Okay, backflashing is nothing but what backflashing means is whenever you have materials, right? You have materials in consumption. You make a bomb, CS01. You make a bomb. Let's say I want to consume diesel, or I want to consume some coal for power generation. What happens is you backflash the material. So you set the indicators, and based on that, some work centers are there. So work centers are some locations on which the activity is performed. So it is not related to it is some uh, locations on which some work is performed, like the production units. Okay, so you'll generate power with PP, or you will generate some something will be there. I'm not very sure about PP module. So in backflashing is the material will be consumed. So it is one indicator that is placed here.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. And one more thing I wanted to show you, I forgot. Just 1 second. Let's go to accounting one. I told you this before. Okay, so you can see ML activate and it is on display mode. So what this ML activate means, it indicates it whether the material ledger valuation is activated. So I told you it is activated always. It comes pre-activated. You can deactivate it only for the projects which is related to army or the military. Okay, for the military related projects you can deactivate it. They'll not value for the money. They will have some different things there. So you'll not have value for materials. So all this will be there, not there. Okay, so okay, so one thing is this, and other thing is price control. So earlier we didn't had this price control. I'm not sure about this, but and this might be customized in ECC. I'm not sure, but in one ECC project I saw price control was there. But I read today before your session that it was also not there. Price control V. It was calculated separately somewhere else. So I'm not sure, but yes, that is one thing. And there is one. Okay, let's do that afterwards. Okay. Then we have this material master changes. One other addition was there. That is our manage product master data. So I'll take 5 more minutes of your time because the session started 6 or 7 minutes late. So I'll take 5 more minutes. So in material master, there's one last change that was supposed to be taught to you. In SAP Fiori, there's an application called Manage Product Master. So MM01, what is MM01? Your create material master data. So till now, what you do to extend the material, you you go to MM01, you extend the material based on your location. But with Manage Product Master data, the prerequisite is there that you need to have this product master specialist style. What you can do is you can mm, while making a material you can extend it to another materials. So when you make one material you can simply put materials, or if you want to do inventory upload, initial inventory upload, you can do it with this style only, manage product master data. So MM01 extension activity, migo activity got replaced with material master, sorry, manage product master. So what is product? In different projects of S4 HANA, you will see like in FMCG industry, the client will call it articles. Okay, so we are producing some article, they'll call it like that. A product, what is a product? In some construction company they'll call it material, right? In production, in power generation they'll call it material, but in other companies they'll call it products. So everywhere terminology is different, but the functionality of MM01 or Anmigo initial upload, all these got changed. So this is the last slide. I'll take you directly the to the product master. Okay, 1 second. So this is my Fiori. I've logged into my system, quality system. Let's go to home page. So this is the Fiori tiles. One thing of the last session was left. I'll explain it tomorrow since some of you left. So we have a manage product not authorized. Why? Okay, we have manage product master data. So when we open this tile, it will lead to this. Okay, so I've opened directly for the material. You don't need to do anything. If you want to see what I opened, I'll go back once. Okay, so when I go back, cancel, close. Okay, so I searched MM17. I made one material. Okay, so when I searched this, I had one material. Let's say I'm searching the material code. I copied it for use. So okay, now okay, so we have a lot of materials. Let's say it is this material. Then we have product category. Okay, so we have product category. Otherwise, it was services. I'll show you services also. I'm not getting my material only. I mean, 17. So I made one material and was service. So okay. So it is in draft status. It is not changed. It was changed that time, like on 19.2. You will have you'll have all this mass processing everything. Okay, you can see there's an image of product, and then there are groups, product groups. The G10 is something that is not related to us. It is related to SD part. Then the product description, product, and the editing status. You can use you can check log by users or unsaved unchanged data. Okay, so this is draft. I'll go open this, and this I'll have all the data. Okay, so you remember the MM01 tile, right? Now what I can do is I can add divisions. I can put batch management required, mark for deletion. This is MM0 4, I think, or 4 MM06 for deletion. Then my colleague changed it. Okay, so it has this data. Then there are product compliances. Everything is there, right? The classification will be there. The master class. So we have metal classes there. Then let's go to our there's the storage. Okay, so we are in the storage. Then we have all these details: the shelf life, the storage condition, temperature, everything is maintained. Let's go to plans. Okay, so the plans. This is one thing I wanted to check with you guys. Okay, so now we have ND as our plants, right? So if I want to create for another plant, what will I do? Right now, these are my valuations. So let's say I want to create this plant for now we have only two plants. Okay. So if I want to create for one plant, I'll put create, then I'll put the plant code. I don't know why it got loaded. Okay. Okay. So now, yes. Okay. So now it is asking me the plant details. I'll put 1003. Now the whatever is in red, it is mandatory. Okay, you can see whatever is in the red, it is mandatory. Now I'm not using any other things. Let's not put the profit center right now. Stock determination, LG controlling purchasing, MRP. MRP means let's say I'll put VB because ND was there already. VB means MRP is required. Then we don't have any other details, right? I'll click on apply. Then I'll click on save. So when I click on save, just remember this. We created this now. We created VB and ND. ND was already there. And I'll put LD check as 02. Okay. Intel planning. So I'll click. This is in draft status. And the valuation is not there. Just remember this. Okay. So I'll create the valuation also. Because now after the valuation, I'll do a 561 and I'll show you how easy it is to do the 561. 1003. The valuation will be there. Okay. Some Z08 is in my class. I know that class. Okay, fine. So whatever is in the red, you need to do that. Transaction basis, INR. I am not putting any price. It is moving average, so I don't need to put any. So, okay. Now we'll click on save. So when I click on save, see it is loading. Why it is taking some time? Because it is creating some transaction in MM01 tile. Okay, enter MRP controller. Why do I need to enter MRP controller? Okay, let's put in ND only. So when I put VB, other things got mandatory. That is why this error came. Okay. Now you can see that 1003 no planning, individual requirements, and it is created. Okay, so the validation is also created. I'll show you how. So I've not used split variation indicator, it is showing that not applicable. Split indicator. Okay, so we'll see the same in this mm01. Okay, mm03 we can open. Okay, just remember the material code 419594. Okay, mm03 display material. The same settings will be there in 1003. Uh, org levels. In this, I'll now this HDJ is created. Okay, so I've not created anything. Let's go to accounting one. So you can see everything in the accounting is there. Z008. I have not maintained split valuation. So split valuation is not there. Moving price is 0. And the so we did ability check 02. It is created. Okay. Accounting also got created. And we didn't had any profit centers. Okay. So there was one parameter of profit center. Okay, it got skipped. Let's skip. Okay. So all things got created in the metal masters. So this is same. So when you have the product master or the managed product master, it is same. Okay. Now only one thing is left for the products. M17 valuation area. Now there's one thing that I wanted to show you guys. Okay, plant valuation area documents, storage. Okay, storage. Then in storage there was number of goods received rounding up. I'm not sure if it is loading properly. There was one thing that I wanted to share. With this style only, you can upload stock. Okay. So you can attach DMX documents also. Attachments are there. And I'm not quite clear about the process. There was this upload button was there. So with that, you can upload the material also. I'm not able to find that right now. I'll share with you guys that configuration also. Okay. Fine. If you have any doubts, please let me know. So what I changed, it got changed and it has my time, my ID, and my name. Okay. Fine. You can also change this image. You need to check how. I've not ever seen this image change, but when you go back, it says image. So you need to change image, but there is some configuration that need to be checked how the image is changed. So we can check that also. Anyways, okay, let's go back to our SAP and we can end the session.